Go get your brushes, go get your paint. This is how you do it the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Oh, we paint miniatures, we paint miniatures, we paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear what I say, but watch it real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above, and if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures, 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 we paint miniatures.
Hello, we are live and it is Shoshie and I am actually not live. Well, yeah, no, I'm not live. I'm streaming, but I'm creating a stream that's unlisted so that way I don't have the pressure of having to look at chat. I can get this painting done and you guys can still take a look at what I'm doing and see how I finish painting this miniature, I'm actually going to be taking this model to the Contrast Miniature Show in Poland in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. And Betalur is here. Say hi, Bet.
Hi, how are you doing?
Okay, hopefully you guys can hear him okay. He's a little quiet for me. I'm gonna, yeah, the music is down. Okay, let me see. Say something again. Let me see if your voice is louder than the music.
Shoshie, is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Okay, good. Okay. Just in case, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit more, at least my volume, so I can hear you better. One moment. And you can see the video okay? Everything's good?
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, Bat's gonna help me in case I have any technical difficulties, which always happens. So we'll see. Okay. Now. All right, I've got your volume all the way up. Hopefully nobody joins this Discord and like interrupts us so that it's super loud. All right, I'm gonna pull this down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna show you guys what we're working on. If you missed the last video, it is in the section of my channel called Lives, I believe. And this is the Demon Librarian. Okay, I've got it pretty zoomed in, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out just a smidge. Give me 1 second to configure my zoom. I have to manually zoom everything or else nothing works and it will just like be a pain in the butt. Okay, let's do this. No, that's not what I want. I want the focus. There we go. There we go. All right, so this is the Demon Librarian. I have a head on a stick. Oh no, it fell off the stick. I'm just going to put a drop of super glue so he doesn't come back off on that. So that when we paint him, I did go ahead and I started working on his hair because I wanted to get something done a little bit and get an idea of how I want to paint him. So you can see how he's coming along, and I did go ahead and highlight his face. I have not painted his eyes, so I'm going to see how close I can get. Let's focus and see if I can. There we go. All right, this is how tiny he is. Here's my fingernail. So you'll be able to see me paint his eyes, possibly badly. We'll try. I might have to adjust my camera. There we go.
Good picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it so that I can hold it up. There we go. That's gonna work good. All right, let's start with this because maybe. All right, I'm gonna get out my palette. Give me 1 second. I got the new Redgrass Games palette. You'll be able to see it. You won't be able to see it actually on camera. And put some water in here. I want to show you also, so I have this kind of base. I've got it all taped up. Let me move my camera back a little bit and unfocus here. There we go. So I have this base. I'm going to put the bookcase here, and the demon is going to go right about here. And whenever you are doing any kind of diorama, you look for dead space. And I saw, like, when I put this together, I was like, oh, there's dead space. So I made this little tiny set of books so that when you turn the model, there's this little Easter egg of a stack of books. And I'll show you something. Let me zoom in on this again too. Focus on this. This is a tiny little stack of books that I made with plasticard, which is just this like modeling plastic that you can get at hobby stores and such. This one is 2 pieces glued together for extra stiffness, but this is a single ply, and you can see how bendy it is. So there's a lot you can do with plasticard. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And so the inside, and I don't recommend the inside. What I did, I found this, it's kind of like these plastic beads that you heat up in water and then you can kind of mold it. It's very annoying though, and it's very sticky. So in hindsight, I think I'm going to use like paper clay instead. I think that'll be just as effective. But basically I wanted the pages of the books to be a different material than the plastic card. So I had to fill it with something that it would stick to it. And so then I super glued the books together. But we're going to paint all of that. We're going to paint the base. We're going to paint the eyes on this model. We might get to the chair. I don't know how much time that I'll have, but since we're not answering questions, it might actually end up being way easier because we're able to focus. Literally focus on the mini, just like I did there. Okay, I'm making sure I have water in my palette. Give me 1 second. I'm filling water all over. And I need new palette paper too. Okay. Yes, there's not enough water in my palette. There we go. All right, now there is. And palette paper. Just use a piece of this. This is actually palette paper from another palette, so I'm going to cut it real quick, or just trim it. You make do with what you have. I feel like this is just baking paper. I think this company just used some kind of thin baking paper, which is legit. You can do that. Okay. So when I put my palette paper on, I try to get all the little bubbles out. And I try not to get the actual paper wet, just the edges so that it stays. So it's creating that surface tension. All right, we're good. So, eyes. Here we go. I'm going to use an off-white, probably an ivory. Let me find, this is bright ivory. This is perfect. We're going to have to hold it right up because the focus is right there. Bright ivory, you don't want to use white. I've always talked about how you don't want to use a white when you're painting eyes because they'll look kind of surprised or bug-eyed. All right, and I need a paper towel. There we go. I like to have my paper towel ready to blot. Okay, let's see. I can hold him right there. Good. Now, I have to take my glasses off because otherwise I won't be able to see him. I'm just going to get just a little bit of paint on the tip of my brush. I don't want to flood the mini. Tell me if you can see him, Bat. If he's in a good spot. I'm going to get paint on his glasses. Dang it. No. This is what I was scared about doing, is trying to paint this on stream, but we'll get a little paint on his glasses, but right now his eyes are just black because there we go. That's perfect. See how that looks? Can we see that? Yeah, so his eyes started out with just a black socket, but then we put that little amount of ivory in there, and it looks like he's kind of got an outline around his eye now, right? That's what I want. And then I'm going to turn it over again, turn it upside down because I'm right-handed. Let me see if you can see. I need to make sure my brush has a little bit of water in it so that it's not too dried out. All right. I think that's as good as it's going to get. What do you think? Let me see. All right, I've got him really close. Right there. There we go. Good. Okay. So, I'm going to let that dry. And then we'll put his pupils in, which is going to be fun because he's so tiny. While I'm gonna do this off camera. I'm just going to fix his sclera just a smidge on the left side because left eye is always a little harder to paint. Because I'm, like I said, because I'm right-handed. Okay. Ah! Camera. All right. Let me see if that shows up good. Yes. All right, much better. One eye is a little bigger than the other. Let's see if I can't fix that a tiny bit. No, I'm not going to try. You know what? Nobody's eyes are equal unless they're a robot. So everybody has slightly asymmetrical eyes. All right, for the sclera, or for the pupil, I'm going to use this coal black. And hopefully, I'm going to hope that this is dry. Usually light colors dry pretty quick. All right, this is going to be tricky again. I'm going to try in the middle of his eye.
I'm going to move the mic closer to you.
Use this mic? Or the other mic?
The boom mic, because it's rubbing on your...
Oh, I don't know if I can fix it. Let me try. Okay, let me put it over here. Is that better? Does it... It might still... Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I think.
All right, I put just a small semicircle in the center of that eye. Looks good. Because his eyes are so small, I may not do any kind of like little highlight or anything. I do think he needs a little eyebrow over here. There. Oh, he's got such a great face. I'm going to give a little dark line underneath his mustache so that it shows his mouth. And then I need to put a dark line underneath his glasses as well. So, whew, now the glasses just went flying off the table.
Oh.
All right.
Come down a bit, Shoshie.
Yeah. Like right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some touch-ups. Oh, he's so cute. I'm sorry. He's just so cute. Okay, I had an idea that to bring your eye kind of closer to his face, that maybe his glasses should be pink. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this. It's not like a super, it's kind of a little bit of a desaturated, this magenta, it's called magenta, but it's actually like a desaturated pink.
Right.
And I'm gonna try it. And if I don't like it, then I'm gonna go lime green. Because both of those colors should bring out his face. I like that. See, and I'm able to cover up some of the spots where I got the ivory. Yeah, I like here. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to move them down. What do you think of that? I kind of like that. Let's try. I'm not sure I want to do the sides a different color. I think I want to add just a smidge of purple to the sides. Just a smidge. Let's use this. This color is plum, and it's kind of in the same family with his skin. It's a little more pink than his skin. Let me try the sides.
The color's looking good.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. It's funny because it's really subtle, this plum, but it's I think it's better than just the pink because it's a little darker. That suits him. I think that suits him. Now I feel like that needs a smidge highlight. Hold on. Let's add a little ivory to the pink now. Just a tiny. Ah! Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Just a little bit more over here.
You drop him down a bit again. Shoshie.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to add a smidge of
Giving a lot more definition to the glasses. You can actually see he's wearing glasses.
Yes, I thought so too.
Before it was all kind of blurring into one.
Right. I'm going to take him off camera for just a second. I'm going to see if I can't pick at his eyes just a smidge. I just don't think I can do it on camera. So let me see if I can just make those a little bit more circular. Let me see if I can turn it and still do it on camera a little bit, but just like this way I'm not over the camera, I'm under the camera. Yeah, I like that. Okay. There's little pieces of his beard missing. I gotta repaint. So that I have this golden dark brown, dark golden brown.
Is that the monument paint?
Yes, it is the monument paint. Which is, we are sponsored by Monument. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna be right here. There we go. All right, I'm noticing a little schmutz on his nose. Hold on, let me see if I can't fix that. There we go, we did it. The trouble with a tiny brush is that I end up, it dries quickly on the brush, so I have to move fast. All right, that's good. Let's do a
You're
little
gonna
bit
hate
more.
me. You need to go slightly higher now, Shoshie.
Yeah, oh, really? Haha. Okay. So this time I'm gonna change my zoom, my focus. There we go. Tell me, can you see it right there?
If you give me 2 seconds, catch up.
Yeah. I'm trying to make a highlight color right now so I can highlight his forehead a little bit. That's not the right color. Here we go. Hello, Mike's downstairs.
Hi, Mike.
Just making little tiny dots, like stippling. Oh yeah, I'm really glad we decided to do this without being live, because
Need to do focus a little bit. Sorry, Shoshie. It's,
Oh, is out of focus again? Thank you.
yeah.
All right. I'm just adding little micro texture, little stipples.
Yeah, focus is really good.
Good. Oh gosh, it's really good.
Makes it more difficult with a smaller brush because it's not holding as much water.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it also allows you more detail. So it's like, in fact, let me get some slow dry. That will help a lot. Some kind of medium, any kind of medium that will keep your brush. What is this? Yay, slow dry. This should help a lot. Okay, make sure I'm in focus. Okay, good. Anytime you're using a very light color, that's a little slow dry can be helpful.
Prevents it from going chalky, does it?
Not always, but it does prevent it from drying on your brush. I would say like a medium would be better for the chalkiness.
Something like a glazing medium or something.
Yeah, exactly. So we got all those little details on his face. Oh my gosh. I really love it. Put little highlights on his horns. Let's do it just a tiny. I'm just playing and seeing what I think of having little wispy grays on the side a little bit. He's not a senior demon. He's more like just, you know, maybe upper 30s, in his 40s. Okay, I think, let's check. Pull this off. Just a little, oh, the pin came out because I glued it to the thingy. Hold on one second. Grab this. There we go. All right, now I'm going to pin it back into the head. Just do a little drop on the pin. Nope. Oh no. I actually bent and broke the resin. That's not good. All right. So that means we have to pin him to the head right away. So let's get him. There's a little hole here. Let's see if it's big enough. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's try this. So I will need to clean up his neck and probably put some kind of, well, I'm gonna have to paint and probably fill that crack. But that looks good.
We could use for that something like Bondic or something.
That's possibly, or I also have this, Bondic will be fast, but maybe not as professional looking. So I like to use Bondic, especially where you can't see it. So since this is for competition, I'm going to be a lot more careful. I need to find, where is it? I have this stuff called, here it is. It's basically like Sculpey. It's called Fix It, Part A and Part B. Oop, there goes my mic. So while that is setting, I can mix and make my Sculpey. I want to put gloves on because this stuff is not safe to have on your fingers for very long.
Right.
And that goes for Sculpey too. You really want to be careful with any two-part epoxies because you can develop a sensitivity and an allergy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's one of those forever. It can be a forever chemical, can get into your skin. You can get toxicity buildup basically. So I put in some. These are nitrile gloves. All right, so when you're mixing epoxies, so we've got part A and part B. I believe this is the epoxy and this is the hardener. And I just have a little, I just need a tiny bit. So I roll that into a ball because then I'll make the second ball the same exact size. And this happens to be black. I have it in 3 different colors. I have it black, white, and see how one is a little bit bigger than the other? You can barely see because it's sticking in my glove. I'm just going to add a smidge more of this. You want them to be equal sizes. But I have black, white, and gray. And I use the gray probably the most. Alright, so now these should be equal sizes. Let's take a look. Yeah, I would say those are equal. So then you can press them together and start to mix them until they're completely mixed. You shouldn't be able to see any of that gray epoxy there, the hardener. These gloves are a little bit small. There you go. And I will probably use a sculpting tool to smoosh it into the neck or any kind of, I've got a couple different tools, yeah. Let me grab sculpting tools. This one's good. This has a little pointy soft spot, but it also has this metal. And so really quick, I'm just going to roll this out and make sure I can't see any little veins of color in it to make sure that it's completely mixed. Yeah, I see a little bit that needs mixing. You can kind of see how there's a little bit of a different color there. All right. All right, now it's completely mixed. And the cement has had time to set up. So I'm going to roll out a little snake that's thin enough to press up into his neck. Okay. I like this. These are just like little wooden sculpting tools are nice because it's got that little cutting edge. Oops. I'm just going to take small pieces at first. There we go. There we go. I've got to take glasses off. And I'm just going to smush this. Oh no, I got something on his face. Dang it. Oh, it's just schmutz. I know. With this little ball on the end of this tool, it's really nice for being able to push the epoxy into the crack.
So the competition he's going for, is this the one in Poland?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I'm not like super trying to compete. Like, I'm not trying to win anything. I just want it to like be like, you know, representative of my skill, if that makes sense. Right? Like, I'm just not trying to be like half-assing it, you know?
Good.
Which, you know.
Well,
All right, you can barely see it, but it is going into the crack.
I can see it.
Yeah. There, that one's really good. Another thing you can do before you actually attach the head is you can put like a little line of epoxy inside, like on the neck, and then push it down, and then then it's a lot easier actually.
Oh,
I
'cause
just
it
didn't think of
squeeze
it
out.
until just now. Okay, where's that? Kind of burnish it. And what's great about this epoxy is also you can paint right over it even as soon as you put it on,
Right.
because it just keeps on curing even under the paint.
Does that one heat up much, or
No, I don't feel like it heats up at all.
what?
All right, I think we're almost good to go. So now I'm just going to smooth it a little bit. There's a little piece back here that needs a little. I'm really excited because I'm going to get to meet my caster, and I'm going to get to meet a bunch of different Polish artists that I'm a big fan of. Natalia Oracz. I don't know if Coddle Ruddick's going to be there, but I know that... oh no, look at this big blob of putty on his head. Oh my gosh, good thing I found that before. Can I get it off without... Yes. Boy. Okay, now I'm going to paint the skin back on. So I need a lavender, which is over here. Here we go. This is, I believe, Faded Plum, which we can use, and we can add purple to it if I need to make it darker. Oh, yeah, I might need a little plum. This is the purple. The Faded Plum and the purple are really similar. I don't even know if there's that big of a difference. And then I've got this, which is dark purple. So I'll start with the dark purple, and then let me get a bigger brush. There we go. Mix a little lavender with this purple. Yeah, I can kind of see where the crack on his neck is still. Smush it a little bit. What's great is you can cover quite a bit of mistakes with paint. Let's add a little bit of black to this so it's more grayish. I'm going to go back over that in a little bit and get that to be more pink. And that side looks good. Okay, so now it's like really blue looking, so I can add some pink to it, maybe some lavender to make it lighter. There we go. When you're color matching, sometimes, yeah, there we go, that's better. Yay, okay. And then I'm gonna add a smidge of lavender over here, just to lighten that part up.
So all of your base coats are done with the airbrushing?
Mostly. Yeah, actually, what did I use? I used this dark purple, didn't I? No, I used that new purple. Sorry, that's what I need. This is royal purple. I didn't have that. That's got a lot of red in it. Let's try what happens when I add that. That's probably why there was so much pink. Yeah, there we go. Thank you for reminding me that. Now he's got a little lump on his neck. Oh no. I'm just smushing it with the paint on it. There we go. That's better. All right, now let's put him in the chair and see.
Is there ever any danger when you transition between something that you've had an airbrush on and then using a standard brush?
No, not really, because the airbrush paint's so thin that if I mess up, I mean, I can just hit it with the airbrush again, right?
Gotcha.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of a, what did I want? Did I want yellow or did I want pink? Let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm really popping this highlight a little bit, but I want it nice and broad because I want it. I'm trying to bring our eye back up to this little bit here, so let me grab, I think I need a fluorescent pink. Fluorescence has a sort of a glow to it that kind of vibrates, and let me see if I have a fluorescent here. Nope, I'll be right back. I'm going to get one. Fluorescents have a vibration to them that even when you thin them way out, they still retain that kind of vibrancy. A lot of the, I believe a lot of the Spanish painters use a lot of fluorescence. So I've got Vallejo Monocolor Magenta Fluoro. Hopefully I don't need to shake this too much. All right, yeah, just a smidge of this. You can see it's on my palette right there. When I add the ivory to it, because the ivory will kind of flatten it back out, if that makes sense. So let's try. What happens when I add? Yeah, that really, boop, boop, boop. And again, I'm stippling it with little dots. See how that looks? It really popped it.
It makes a hell of a difference.
It really does. Boom. Put that on his collarbone as well. Yeah, I like that. A little bit on his neck again. Just having that little circle of highlight of pink. Let's do it on this finger as well. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do okay. I'm happy with that. Let's do this. I do need my little bit of slow dry. The fluoro dries very fast as well. I'm going to pull my let's do focus. There we go. We got good light. Is light okay? Make sure. Okay.
Do it big, slightly higher.
Slightly higher?
I think you've just adjusted it.
Okay.
It's all good.
I'm seeing other spots that might need a little bit of pop. Now I'm blending this in a little bit. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take a look at it outside of the light. It looks way different under the lights than you want to make sure it looks good even without the lights. Okay, I didn't do a lot of work on the tail yet because he's gonna get that chair painted, and so I want to take him out and let's work on this chair because I'm actually really excited about the chair because I want to show you a technique that I do with leather. So first of all, let me find my reference for the chair. Give me a second. It was a Chesterfield, leather Chesterfield. Is that right? Those are the keywords I used. Chair. There we go. And let me 1 second. There. Okay, found it. If it's gonna let me pop it. Okay, I'm gonna show you. This is a expensive chair. All right, hold on. I'm gonna share it for you guys. If it'll, I think I can share it. Okay, let's try. Oh, I think Mike removed it. I can't share it, but I can print it. And let me see. Yeah, I think Mike removed it because Whip Trips, here it is. Okay, found it. Maybe? Nope, I don't know how to do it anymore. Now my camera just froze for some reason. That's not good. Okay, let me go back to this camera. All right, I don't know why, but this, the other camera froze. So, well, I will just show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, this is good. This is back. All right, so I've got my chair. I want to first start with some underpainting. And I think I'm gonna use this yellow ochre color as my underpainting. Either that, you know what, I changed my mind. Because it's got a lot of yellow in it, I might use this, I might mix some of this Sandry dust with it. I've got another one that says Sandry dust. Is this one a little bit thicker? Yeah, this is also Sandry. I'm going to try mixing these because this one is a little bit too flat. Well, maybe not. Let's pull this out and try this. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna use the Sandry dust, and I'm gonna use a stippling brush like this. This is a Monument Pro Synthetic. Actually, it's not a stippling brush. It's called a dry brush, but I'm going to stipple with the dry brush. All right, I got it on my brush, and then I'm gonna wipe off a bunch, and see how I'm just going to put parts of the like this, especially on the spots where the leather is bent. Try to avoid his tail. Okay, get back in here. Get a little bit more on my brush. Like I said, right where it's bent, that's where it's gonna have lighter texture. Okay, that's probably good. If I want to add more, I can, because this is a layered process. So I don't need to worry about completely getting it right the first time, because it's going to be a good process. So we're going to get some of this transparent brown. We can also use an ink. One of the really awesome inks that I would recommend is what's it called? It's the chestnut ink, or the flesh wash from the old Citadel pots. All right, I'm gonna throw this under the hair dryer real quick because I want to make sure it's really dry. So I'm gonna mute myself while I put this under the hair dryer. Although Bat will hear me, so you might want to mute me.
Something like Reichland flesh shade, is that what you're thinking?
Okay, I'm back. What did you say?
Were you thinking of something like Reichland flesh shade or something?
I feel like the washes are a little too diluted. I think you need an ink or something. And what's also nice is about the transparent paint and the inks, they have sort of like a shiny finish,
Right.
which is what you're going to want for this technique. I'm going to get another brush here. This brush is too big. This is the size brush I've got. It's a Rosemary and Company 2. And I'm just going to thin, so this is my paint here. It's pretty thick, so I want to thin it out. There we go. So that it's ink consistency-ish. I'm going to start in the back, because if I don't like it, guess what? I can change it. See what that does? I'm just going to move about the chair.
To bring the chair down a bit.
Oh yes, sorry. There we go. Now, as I go up onto the arms, I'm using the thicker paint because I see that I need that. See how it goes into the crevices of the chair?
That's very clever.
Right? Well, it's using underpainting to our advantage to give it that leather look. It's a very nice, it's a really nice technique for leather. Leather is really just the same as skin. You know, it's not as opaque as we think it is. And so when you're painting leather, to get these different textures and colors in, I need more paint. You wanna have underpainting just like you do with skin. And that's why I like to use the transparent paints and the inks for that. A little more water. So this, it's just reactivating the paint underneath it just a smidge because it might not be 100% dry, which is why that's why I wanted to use the hairdryer, because You really do want that really dry before you go back into it.
It does make for a more natural kind of spread.
Right. Try not to, here, I'll just hold it by the seat and we'll use the outside. Rawr. It's reactivating a little bit. There we go. If I weren't painting this live, I would probably set this down, let it dry, and then pick it back up again once it's dry, because I'm getting my fingers into it, if that makes sense. See how I have a thumbprint right here now? Right, you can fix that though. Okay. And the black that's from the primer goes through the transparent paint as well, and it adds another dimension. Okay, this is the point where I might need to set it down and dry it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hair dry it, because if I keep trying to touch it and stuff, see how it's already looking like a little leather chair though?
It is.
It's really nice. All right, I'm gonna hair dry it. 1 second. Okay, take a look at this. Look at that. It's already looking really awesome. And I'm not even done. Just look at the top. See? So, I'm going to finish this part of the chair.
It is good.
Yeah.
Very realistic.
Yes. I really enjoy painting leather like this. Okay, so now there's another step I want to add in here. I think I'm going to do some of the transparent black. Here is, or transparent purple maybe even instead of black. Let's see, what color do I get when I add transparent purple to the brown. I think it becomes, oh, it's very pretty. It becomes this really rich. So I'm just going to stick this up into the crevices. And then we're going to go ahead and stipple that a little bit. Got to dry my brush off to blend. Oh, I love it. See how that dark purple is going to look really good with the demon too. Okay, dry it off. In here, because there's all that shadow where he's sitting. The other reason why I like painting leather is it can be just really, you can just get such a great look by barely, you don't have to do so much blending, right? It's actually better if it's more texturized.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's do it underneath the bottom of this arm. Okay, so now I think now might be a good time to do some Druchii Violet in, so this will go down into the crevices, whereas the transparent paint will be more like, so let's see what this does. So I really want to, yeah, that's what I want. I want it to be able to shadow those little buttons and the seams. And the Druchii Violet doesn't lay on top like the transparent. It kind of goes down into the... Oh, yes. So pretty. Purple looks so good on top of brown. And also, I'm not positive, but I believe there's a little bit of a satin, not satin, but there's some kind of medium in the Druchii Violet that will help it get that kind of polished leather look.
Right.
That looks like leather right now, like a lot. Okay. More Druchii. I'm so paranoid. I'm going to spill it. I close it every single time. There we go. Yeah. Let's turn the camera a little bit. I can put it in front. Let me bring this light over a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the hairdryer on it. Bear with me while I mute. Why is the light not looking? It looks really dark on camera. Let me see if I can't adjust that. There, that's better. Now you can see it. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna throw the, yeah, it's really looking leathery. I'm gonna go ahead and blow this with the hairdryer. When it's dry, we're gonna do another layer of the light. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at how it looks dry. It's really looking leathery. It's still a little bit on the dark side now. It's because we've done that layer, but now we're going to do another layer of light. I'm going to use a smaller stipple brush or smaller dry brush this time. Let me rinse this out good. Because I want to be able to do a little more detail. Here's a small one. This is a Rosemary & Company. It's called smooshing, for smooshing. But any sort of brush that is... All right, I'm going to get that Xandri dust again. Oop, that's not the Xandri dust that I was using. Ooh, here we go. This one is like... Put that on the palette and then wipe off a bunch. Okay. And I'm going to focus on where the light is hitting the chair. And we're just stippling texture on right now. Oh, you know, and actually I'm like gonna do a little dry brushiness. Yeah, the dry brushiness is actually more effective, I think. I guess if the more textured you want it, you get the stipple. If you want it like less textured, then use the dry brush. What's great though is no matter what we do, we can come back and go back over it with the dark. Anywhere there's like a little bend, I'm going to add some texture where the leather's bent. Ooh, my camera. All right. That's pretty good. Feels chair-like, huh?
Certainly does.
All right, let me put this down. Okay, now might be better time for the Reikland flesh shade. Let's try it. Let's see what happens with the Reikland instead of the Druchii violet. Well, I don't know if I don't hate it, but I'm also like, I'm not sure yet. It does something, doesn't it? It makes it look worn. I don't know if I want his chair looking that worn. We'll see. We'll see. But I do like the effect. So I'm going to go ahead and go for this. See, it looks better where we dry brushed it. Yeah, that's looking really good. Let me get some more. And again, this is the Reikland Flesh Shade. It's got a little red in it.
To come down slightly on the camera.
Yeah. One second. I like it. What do you think so far?
It is looking very good.
I think I'm going to add just a smidge more of this transparent paint, like here, just to give another, I think it's like a little too worn for me. And just over here, because there wouldn't be nearly as worn out on the back.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more preserved.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly darker.
Exactly.
Look at the light.
Let's go ahead. This is the transparent paint here.
You're climbing with the cherry.
Whoa. Here, let me pull back. See, this is why we have that here, because otherwise I would just be off in my own little world, painting away. Okay. Doing another little, I think it needs another layer of the transparent everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely making it look not
It just warms it up, doesn't it? Yeah. Let me get some more transparent. Yeah. All right. I love it. I love this chair so much. Let me look at my reference real quick. I'm going to take a peek at it. Yeah, it's very close to the reference. There needs to be some highlights, but we're not done yet. We need to hair dry it and get it all dry. I feel like once we get the little rivets on the front painted, then it'll look really good. Okay, I'm gonna blow through the hairdryer real quick. There we go. 1 second. All right, let's take a look. Yes, it looks so good, so leathery. Oh my gosh. Now, the rivets are gonna be, let me look at the rivets on the chair and the reference. They're gold. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do, is make them gold. And fancy. Here's rich gold. And we need a small brush again. Let's do this one. Look at that. It looks so good, doesn't it?
Kind of transforms the whole piece.
It really does. I really love it when you can make minis come alive like this.
It's really good because all the shadows on your studs have already been done by
Exactly.
electric.
Oh, I made a mistake. Notice I'm turning the mini, not turning the brush. Alright, I've got a few little bloopers on there, but that'll be easy to clean up. I'm too high, aren't I? There we go. This chair is my favorite.
Yeah, sling the rest of the model.
I know. We just need a name for the chair. The chair needs its own story.
Go a little high again.
Okay. Okay. There's the rivets. It really transformed it. Let's paint his little cushion, because I don't want to do any more detailing on the actual chair itself until I get more of the rest of the chair painted. Oh, you know, I just noticed this whole side. Let's see if I can just throw some transparent over here. Most of his leg's going to be over that anyway, so it's not going to be visible. All right, what color? For the cushion, I'm thinking like a deep reddish velvet color. I'm thinking, let me think.
Well, it's going to be a bit plush, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to start with this burgundy. This is one of my favorite colors. It's going to be really similar to this color of the chair at first, but we're going to add the reds on top. There's two cushions, I just noticed. Make them the same color.
Sculpt's got an amazing amount of detail on this.
I know. She's so good. Even on the bodies, like when we did the angel, he has this little tiny crinkle over his belly button. You know, I mean, it's just really fantastic. But it doesn't hurt that it's 3D sculpted, so it's like she can make it as big as she wants, right, and then shrink it.
Right.
So it's not quite the same as. Look at how good that is. Okay, so now let's go with this magenta color. My goal is to get this wine-colored pillow. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We'll see. No, that's very magenta, and it just tore the paper. Dang it. Magenta is the one color you don't want to paper to tear, because it will totally bleed into. I'm going to add just a smidge of transparent red over here, and then I've got my transparent purple already, so let's see what color I can mix with just, there we go. Ooh. More red. There we go, that's the color I want. Sort of this wine color. That's a very pretty red. Okay.
And it's taking the properties from the burgundy line.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to blow dry that and see if I need to do any highlights on it after the fact. I'm going to switch. There we go. Well, that's disappointing. Look at this. It just dried brown. How funny. Okay, so that means I'm going to go ahead and just go use the regular red and see if I can mix that with some of this color, because I think what happened is it's so transparent and it's just not dark enough.
More opacity.
Yeah, let's try this. So we might have to go lighter and then go darker. I really like that burgundy though. But burgundy, so any kind of magenta color is going to be very transparent. So this is pretty though. I like that red on there. Okay, it's already starting to dry darker, so that's perfect. See, even the lower half of it starting to dry nice and dark. Okay, let's take straight red and see if this isn't mixed with anything. I'm not really going into too much detail on the inner part of the pillow because it's just going to get covered up. So let's see. I think that's it. I think that's going to be what it's going to look like. Just need to, let me look at it without my glasses.
Well, once the demon's in there, you're not going to see much stuff.
Exactly. So there we go. I got some more details picked out.
You need to have a drink and a stretch.
You're right. What do I have? Did I think I already drank all my drink. Drank all my drink. I could stretch though. All right.
You got paint water.
No. All right. I'm gonna dry this so that way if I put the demon in, it's not gonna get paint on him. Give me 1 second. All right, take a look at that. There we go. Okay, now let's put the demon in. Yeah, that's perfect slick. You don't really get to see too much of the cushion. Just enough to peek out. And it kind of goes with this little book there too. I'm looking at his eyes again and just want to make sure they're how I want them. Yeah, he's good. All right, let's take a look now. How's the chair? Does it look leathery?
Certainly does.
Good. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. 1 second. We're focusing on it. There we go. Almost. Can we focus, please? There we go. Now just the legs, the bottom of the legs. I think I'm gonna look at my reference real quick. Looks like dark legs. Like we'll just do them black. That'll be simple because we're not trying to bring attention to the legs anyway.
Why'd that change because of the once you paint the floor and the back?
Right, exactly. Let's do this. One thing that is very important is to paint everything. So I am painting the bottom of the chair because judges will look at it or find it, one or the other.
Oh.
Okay. That looks really nice with the black legs now. And I left this unpainted right here so it'd be easier to stick him to the chair.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna take a look. See how he looks on here. Does he need shadow? He needs shadow under his leg. So I'm just gonna add just a smidge of this black here. Even that gives it some depth, doesn't it? Now, one thing I do want to do with this black, and I don't know if it's going to make a big difference or not, but I'm going to go ahead and go in here with my black and just dark line it a little bit in a few places. This is that small brush, and that means that it's gonna going to dry quickly. See, that did separate it out a little bit. It does make a little bit of a difference. I'm going to separate the tail. So there's a little bit of a drop shadow. I'm going to mix a little brown with this so I get it a little dark. Now, when I put the demon on here, he's also going to have a shadow underneath here, too. I'm just going to blur it a little bit so it's not super crispy. But it's just darker there. And so that way when I put him on here, it feels real. It feels like he's really sitting in there. Maybe more dark here too. This is like something that you're probably not even gonna think about as much when you're looking at it, but it helps the realism. And just a smidge of shadow right here where his leg's crossing a little bit. And again, I'm gonna just blend the edge a little bit so that it's not crunchy. That's good. I like that. Can you see it? Okay.
Just need a second for it to catch up.
Say what?
Just need a second for it to catch up.
Oh, yes, yes. Now I'm just adding black.
Yeah, that looks very much like the oil from the skin or whatever.
Right. Exactly. One time I entered a competition and I painted like leather books that I had scratch built, and it was they were really well painted. In fact, I had like professional painters just like freaking out and they thought it was so awesome. And then I took it to the competition with me, and I realized after the fact that I'd set the demon that I had been painting right on top of the books, and you really couldn't see. And Michael Contreras, he told me, he's like, next time, he's like, just save the book for something else. And, you know, enter the books, don't, the demon. And I was like, oh, it's so funny. But I get what he meant. Okay, so there's a lot of these little things all need a little dark line. I have to look at Chesterfield's to see what exactly this is.
Right.
To see if it needs to another highlight, or if it just needs this dark. I think it just needs this dark line, because it's already got a highlight on it. That looks good, doesn't it, with that line?
It does.
Okay, and it's drying nice. It's not drying too dark. Kind of going in and adding that shadow a little bit more, because it wasn't quite, the Reichland flesh shade wasn't quite enough to pop it out. It's really looking like a good leather chair. Now, let's see, let's put the demon on it again. Yeah, he's looking really good. Okay. The chair legs look really matte. I guess that doesn't bother me. Yeah. So I think this is a really good spot to stop. And then I will try to get a couple more of these little mini streams in. I've got the bookcase, and I've got the back of the display to paint, and
Well, it was very good for
yeah,
showing how to do leather.
exactly. And I think it's, yeah, I think rather than going to something else, it's a good time to break. All right, let me switch cams here. Hold on a second. Let me give you guys one more close-up of the leather chair. And I'm probably going to do a little bit more picking at it with some, you know, just micro texturing, just a little bit. And then after that, I think the chair is pretty much where I want it. So, all right, let's see. All right, so everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Bachelor, for helping me stream as I'm throwing paint on my floor.
Oh.
All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and do the outro here. Let's do this. There we go. All right, everybody, bye-bye.